time no see, I know. Happy Halloween. And I haven't been around because I have gone from having no jobs to one job to two jobs, back to one job, and now I have two jobs again, all within 3 weeks. So it has been rather hectic. But I have a treat for you. This is my very first tutorial, and it is a Halloween tutorial, which is everyone's favorite kind. So if you want to look like this, then yeah, keep watching, and hopefully we'll have another video up very soon, which will be entertaining. So keep watching, and I apologize for my voice. I'm also getting over a cold. And yeah, see you in a second. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is get your hair out of your face. These are just little Velcro pads. And next, when I'm working on guys who don't wear makeup, I just use like a toner to clean their face. In this tutorial we're using latex, so you want the latex to be able to stick to their skin, and if their skin is dirty, it's not going to stick. Or like if there's any grease or anything. Next, I'm using latex. This is just from like a Halloween shop. It was kind of expensive for this amount, but normally you can get it from other cosmetic places online. I think Makeup Mania has a bunch of different sizes for probably cheaper than you'll get at a Halloween shop. Right now we're going to create the dead skin effect, really. So take your tissue and tear apart the plies, and then pick a spot where you want the skin to go. Where do you want your skin to be?
Oh, wherever you think looks good.
We'll put some on your forehead. Cool. Here. So after you pick your spot, you're basically just going to paint the latex onto the spot you want it to go. You don't want it to be dripping wet, but you want it to noticeably stick to the tissue. Then just tear your tissue into strips like this and place it on top. Should stick decently nicely. If there's any straight edges, like the straight edge of the tissue, I usually tear those off because it doesn't look natural. And then do another layer of latex on top. And feel free to like wrinkle the tissue up to make it look like wrinkled skin. And then after the second layer of latex, you just want to add another piece of tissue on top just to make the effect a little bit more exaggerated. Oh, and when you're doing this, use a paintbrush that you really don't care about. Don't use one of your good makeup brushes because it might get ruined if you don't wash it out right away. And try not to get the latex in the person's hairline or your own hairline because it might hurt a little bit when it comes off. I'm trying not to get it in your hair. Okay, so that bit is done. If you can go more extreme with this, you can add it all around your face, all over, add more areas, smaller, bigger, whatever you like. So basically you just want to let this dry until it's not tacky, like it's not sticky when you touch it. And so we'll come back when that is dry. And if you're in a real rush, you can blow dry it, but make sure it's on the cool or cold setting if your blow dryer has one of those. Okay, now that the latex is mostly all dry, I just started to lift up the tissue so that basically you're peeling it off the skin just a bit, so it'll look like got some dangly loose skin over here. And then what you want to do. If you're going as a girl zombie, like just a regular everyday girl zombie, you probably want to do your everyday makeup right now, like your foundation, eyeshadow, mascara, all that stuff. But since we're not doing that, I'm just going to do Chris's foundation to have this match his skin. Sometimes this can work best if you powder the latex first. So I'm going to attempt that with my chintzy powder, because I ran out of my MAC translucent powder and now I have to use this random Chinese type powder. It's basically baby powder in solid form.
It smells like it.
Yeah. And then if you're peeling the latex up like this, you want to get the powder up in here too. Then you can just go in with your foundation. If it doesn't match perfectly, like, it's not a big deal because, you know, you're a dead zombie. So your skin's not going to be even when you're dead. You do want to blend the tissue in as best you can with the rest of your skin, even though there might be some hard edges, like Chris has a hard edge right here, but it's really not going to matter all that much in the long run. You can do foundation all over your face if you really want to. I'll just do a little bit, because Chris doesn't really need a heavy coverage. And obviously, if you're working on someone with a beard or you have a beard, you really don't need to bring the foundation down into that. Okay, so foundation's done. Now you want to bring some bruisey colors into some dead coloring. The best tool you can use for adding texture is these little plastic spongy things that you get at most Halloween stores. They're in a lot of Halloween makeup kits. Yeah, really cheap but really handy. And I'm also just using my Graftobian palette for like all these darker colors to make it look dirty, shadowy, gross like that. So what I'm doing with this dark color, which is, what color is this? Sienna by Graftobian. I'm just going to start adding some shadows around this, like inside here. There's obviously going to be some shadowing. And this color is quite a cool color, even though it's in the warm color palette. So it'll kind of add to that bruisey look. And with this you can be really messy if you want to. I'm just taking a tiny bit of this product and kind of dry brushing it over the tissue so it catches on the ridges. Hello again. We had to move due to there not being a table for me close enough to put my stuff on. Basically all I've done is add this dark brown color, which is Sienna by Graftobian. I added it in here, up here. I did some contouring in his cheeks, and then I used this stippling sponge to make some like dirt marks on his forehead. And then I used this mustardy greenish yellow color, which is Caramel by Graftobian. I put it here and around his eyes for like a bruise, and some around his mouth to make it look gross. But yeah, that's all I've done. So now you're all caught up. And now we're actually pretty close to being done. We just need to make some more bruisey looking things and maybe some blood in his gaping wound. These are Inglot colors. I don't have the color numbers, but yeah, basically I'm going to be using this green, even though it has sparkles in it, that doesn't really show up. This green for bruises, and this dark browny purple for also bruises. So I'll start with the lighter green. It's one of their mattes with sparkle in it, so the sparkle really doesn't transfer all that much. Put it around here. And this is the part where you can really have fun with it and just put it wherever you want, quite literally. So you probably can see a little bit of sparkle, but it's not a big deal. If you have a matte, completely matte green, by all means go ahead and use it. I'm going on with the dark brown, which is kind of a cool dark brown. It's got a little bit of purple tinge. Adding this inside here for more shadow. Putting a tiny bit of this by his mouth. And I'll be using lipstick probably for the blood. Adding some more bruisey bags under his eyes. The great thing about zombie costumes is you really don't have to be neat or careful with the makeup. I think we're good for those bits. I don't want to go too crazy. Deep. This green is kind of too green for my liking. So I'm just going to have some powder foundation. I'm just gonna use the same brush. Yeah. Go over this green again. Tone that down. So this lipstick is just depotted, that's why it's in this tub. It is an NYX one. It's called Snow White. It's actually one of my favorite lipsticks, but it works quite well as blood. Well, not drippy blood, but like wounds and stuff type of blood. I'll probably be adding in a little bit of black into that to make it darker, look more congealed. Conveniently enough, this eyeshadow brush already has black on it, so mixing this in here a teensy bit. You're going to eat it? Mmm, tasty. You are a zombie.
Getting into the spirit.
Okay, and just paint this in here. And when you're using depotted lipsticks, generally always use a palette knife to take it out, just because it's more sanitary than dipping your brush straight in there. I'm just going to transfer that onto the inside top of the peeling flesh. Now if you did want it drippy, you could just make a quick fake blood with corn syrup and food coloring. But I think this looks okay for now. Do you want blood anywhere else?
Maybe on the mouth.
Okay. It's not going to be drippy, but it will hopefully look a little bit congealed. If you're just using lipstick to make the congealed blood look, try not to blend it too much, because congealed blood won't be like smoothly blended into your skin. So you can use this again to pick it up. Okay, so I grabbed my NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil in Black Bean. I'm just going to get a bunch of that on the back of my hand so I can pick it up with the stippling sponge. And kind of mix it in with the red. It's also a great way to make stubble if you are a girl and going as a guy. Just get some black or dark brown cream product and use a stippling sponge. Yep, that looks pretty good.
Cool.
Adding some. One of my favorite ways to add like a glossy sheen just to any bloody things that you don't actually want dripping is just to use lip gloss. This one looks pink, but it really has no color. It's just a knockoff MAC lip jelly. So you can use a clear gloss or a red gloss if you like. Just get some on the back of your hand. If it has too much pigmentation, you can always mix it in with your red lipstick. And now the blood looks wet. Tasty. Now I'm just going to powder the whole thing with a powder puff, or at least the parts that I want to be matte. Don't worry, I will be knocking off the extra with a brush. This is just going to set your makeup so it will stay there for the entire night of trick-or-treating or partying or whatever you might wish to do on Halloween. And if we get this up on time, Halloween will be tonight, so have fun. Be safe. So I'm taking a jumbo fan brush and just knocking off the extra. Obviously you're going to avoid the lip glossy gaping wound. Also, some other quick tips: if you don't have a yellow foundation like this, Halloween shops generally sell bruise makeup kits that have something similar to this in it, as well as like greens and purples and probably dark blues and stuff. Okay, and finally we are going to make his lips look all chapped and gross, even though they're clearly not. So,
Or you think.
You want to like make this face. And then get some light foundation or creme de nude, is that the one by MAC? I don't know. A really light lipstick. And just go over your lips while making this face. And blend it into the skin around it as best you can. And then stop making that face, and look, it looks all liney and gross. If the lines look too defined, just kind of go over them a little bit again. And then I might also add in some of the red and black into the inside bits, really lightly. And you can also drag it down into the lines. Yep, now you look kind of gross. You can kind of go like this if you want. Not too much though. Okay, you look kind of gross now.
Gross.
Ta-da!